The famous live streamer Ice Poseidon just scammed his followers for up to $500,000.
That's a lot of money.
I'm going to prove it. He personally profited $300,000 by stealing money out of a crypto scheme that he set up.
That's
when
convenient.
I confronted Ice Poseidon,
yeah.
who's better known by his real name, Paul Denino, about this scam, he was shockingly honest.
You want to keep the money that's not yours, that you took from the project, even though you failed to deliver.
I mean, I'm not really sure what you want me to say, but yeah.
I'm trying to, like, get you to return the money because it's 100% still available and you could do that.
Yeah, I could give the money back.
But,
it is within my power.
But
I'm going to look out for myself and not do that. I don't like know what else to say. That's just the most
fuck it,
answer.
dude.
Now, these influencer scams are becoming more and more common, in part because of how easy they are to pull off. Ice Poseidon.
Of course they are. It's like you have fucking look. What a base, Chad. The thing is, though, is like if you... All right. Let's say Ice Poseidon makes a video and it's Ice Poseidon stock advice, February 2021. Who the fuck is going to watch that unironically? Who the fuck is going to look at that and say, hey, you know what? Let's see what he's got to say. Nobody. Nobody's going to fucking say that. He scammed us fair and square. Look, here's the way I look at this, all right? Is that I feel bad for the people that get taken advantage of. But I don't feel that bad for them. If you're investing in CXCOIN, you're putting money. This is Ice Poseidon, somebody who got famous from moving his arm around, acting weird on Twitch, and some crazy RV shit, getting banned, and all kinds of other dumbass shit. Now you're taking financial advice from him. How many? Here's another interesting question. How many financial firms do you think would hire Ice Poseidon as an analyst? How many financial firms do you think would yes, I would say at least one. At least one? I don't know, man. After this, probably 100%. Yeah, I mean, you can steal people's money. It fit right in. Anyway, here's what I'm saying. People need to, whenever you see a fucking YouTuber promoting cryptocurrency that's called Dickcoin, don't put your money in it. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. Like, what are you doing? Get your money out of Dickcoin. Get it out. What's wrong with you? What are you doing? It's crazy. I can't believe it. Oh my God. All right, let's keep going.
Poseidon's scheme apparently took him only 2 weeks of work to set up before he apparently got bored with the project and decided to stop working on it and just took the money.
Like, seriously, how long did you work? I'm just curious.
Well, like you said, it was a fork, so I don't know, a couple weeks.
Couple weeks, $300,000. That's...
You know, and this is the funniest thing about it, is whenever Ice said, yeah, I'm just going to keep the money, I got to look out for myself. Like, anybody who watched Ice knows exactly how he said that. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to take the money and look out for myself. You know, like, there's no shot that he didn't say that with a smile. There's no shot that you couldn't just fucking, if you had a camera on him, take that and fucking play the like the old rap music, put the fucking sunglasses on and, do that whole fucking meme. Fuck it, dude. Yeah, you can hear it. You can hear the smile. That's what happens whenever you invest in CXCOIN.
Nice chunk of change.
Now, I pleaded with Paul, or Ice Poseidon, to return the money that he stole, in part appealing to the guilt that he was taking money from his fans who were all...
Well, that was a bad call. Noble desire, but bad call.
All much worse off.
If only people watch the ads.
Ice Poseidon's response was that he didn't like how that made him sound.
I don't know if you're aware of the fact that your average fan has way less money than you. So you're just taking from poor people. Like, you understand that, right?
That is definitely not... That is not a good way to put it. That's a pretty shitty way to put it, my dude.
I think it's a pretty shitty thing to do.
From the very beginning, the story shocked me, but especially the twist at the end that I can't tell you about yet. But what I can tell you is that this is my most in-depth investigation yet into influencer greed, cryptocurrencies gone wrong, and the blockchain. Now, I know it's been a while, so let me remind you, this is the $10 Million Studio. I'm your host, Coffeezilla, the internet detective, and well, it's good to be back.
It's good video. I like this guy already. We'll have to make sure to, subscribe to him at the end of it. Investigation? I mean, he's doing his best.
To understand what happened with Ice
He's
Poseidon,
trying.
we have to rewind the clocks back. The story started when Ice Poseidon first got into crypto.
I invest in a lot of the like shit coin, like a lot of the you put money in and then you sell in like 20 minutes when it pumps.
Ice Poseidon first got into crypto just buying a lot of
this is not his first rodeo.
Like many influencers, he quickly realized gambling on another person's coin is a sucker's game.
So you invest the money, and then whenever it pumps, you sell it. I think I've heard something, or at least half of that before. Maybe he pumps and drops it. Maybe he pumps and deploys it. Maybe he pumps and departs. Yeah, pump and depart.
Easy money is actually in getting other people to gamble on your coin.
Yeah.
Now, this moment is important. It's the moment Ice Poseidon realized what a gold mine it could be to start his own scam.
You're telling me I could create a CXCOIN and then people could buy it because I could say that the community is super strong, and then I could sell it in 10 seconds and make $10 million. What the f am I doing?
Ice Poseidon would later...
What the fuck are you doing, dude? That's what you're doing? Hey, fuck it, dude. It is what it is. No, but you need people. Here's the thing. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit people with a little bit of a reality check, because you need people like Ice Poseidon out there. Ice Poseidon is like a Nigerian prince scheme. Who the fuck is investing in CXCOIN except for morons? Like, that serves as like a... People now, like regular average people, are now seeing this and they think, wait a minute, maybe MILF coin isn't going to go to the moon. Maybe it won't. Maybe it's not gonna go to the moon, but maybe it won't, because like having people like this is you've got to have people and these bad situations happen in order for people to wake the fuck up, because you've got every person, every dumb fuck who's probably under the age of 35 nowadays has either thought of or is thinking of or is doing fucking cryptocurrency investment. Everybody's thinking about it, and it's like it's not a bubble in this way, but it's like a mental bubble. Is people have never really thought about, wait a second, what if this one is bullshit? Wait a second, hold up, wait a minute, is this a legitimate thing? And that's kind of what happens, is that you have a lot of these people and they just go gung-ho and they don't think about it. And I hope that what happens here is, because like Ice Poseidon, he makes off like a bandit running down the hill. I can't get me. I got you, bitch. Oh, I got your money now. Woo! Right? And let's say that happens. But also, let's say Ice Poseidon goes to jail for the rest of his life. Do you know what this ain't going to change? I don't give a fuck about that. It doesn't matter to me which one of those two things happen, because that's only one time. This is February 2nd. What happens about the coin that comes out on March 2nd? What are people going to do then? That's what I care about. I care about the future. I care about how this is going to affect people's perception, how this is going to smarten people up, and how this is going to get people to see what should have been in plain sight. But they didn't want to see it because they're blinded by the idea that they could get rich. The true American dream. To get rich doing nothing because you're smarter than everybody else. That's what it is. That's all it fucking is. It's not to work hard. It's to get rich because you're smarter than everybody else. It's to invest in Google in 1999. It's to invest in Amazon in 2003. It's to invest in Tesla in 2016. It's to invest in all of these companies before they got really popular, because you are smarter than everybody else. And because of that, you are now rich, you don't have to work, and you are above them. That is the true American dream. And that's why the main fucking things that people want to be here in America now is YouTube influencers. Imagine that. Well, let's get back to my very difficult job of watching a YouTube video.
Say that the clip you just watched was a joke, and that the idea of him scamming his fans was just a bit he played up for the audience. But that core idea that he was missing out on a huge opportunity to make a ton of money was real, and it nagged at him. And pretty soon, he decided to start his own coin.
CXCOIN is the one to choose. I'm the founder of CXCOIN. My name's Paul Denino, and I decided to make a community-driven token that I'm personally going to be a part of.
Now, almost immediately, this got a lot of attention.
Well, that's
obviously,
great.
Given his past comments about sort of scamming people. people were understandably skeptical of this. And it came
I'm
out.
going to be honest. This is what I said before. Whenever my mom passed away, I made a vow to myself that I'm never going to scam people anymore. I'm not going to take advantage of people anymore. I'm not going to be a bad person. But man, oh man. Oh, bro, you could do so many, things. Oh, my God. I think these guys are just scratching the surface, honestly. I really do. I think that they're just scratching the surface of what you can do with this shit. And, like, there are so many more scams that you can do. And I think that these people, I don't know. Maybe they're not thinking big enough. They're amateurs. Yeah, they're amateurs. They're thinking about 500,000. You think about 500 million. Think about how to get even more money. Think about how to do it every week. Like, and yeah, the thing is, like, why? Why the fuck not? What else are you gonna do? You wake up in the morning? You might as well do that. Man, I'm telling you, like, if crypto was as big, like, a lot of you guys might not know this. If you look at my original Asmongold offline screen, the name down there is Virtual Exchange. That's because in 2012, I was going to make a cryptocurrency exchange website that I was actually just going to set up a bot farm for Diablo 3 to use that as a front so I could sell gold in Diablo 3 with a bot farm that I had made charts determining how I could do that very easily, and then also later on do the cryptocurrency stuff. So I was in on this stuff. You could have been a billionaire? No, I'd be in jail. I would be in jail. No, you guys didn't know me back then, okay? Let me tell you something. My mom, whenever the riots happened last year, my mom said, "Thank fucking God." I said, "What?" She said, "Thank fucking God they didn't happen 10 years ago." I said, "Why?" She said, "Because you'd be out there looting. You and Cody and Jeff would be out there looting every day." And I told her, and it would have been the best year of my life. It would have been the best year of my life. Holy fuck, it would have been so good. Oh my God. Like, we'd have had like 10 TVs. Like, not 10 TVs a week. 10 TVs a week. Mostly peaceful? Oh no, we're not looking for a fight. We just want TVs. That's it. So, like, I used to be a big one into this shit, right? No more, never again. No more, never again reformed. I will never do that again. I will never scam people again. And, it's just I feel so like, oh my God, people could do so much shit with this, and like there's no regulation, like there's no fucking regulation on like half of this stuff, and the only thing these people can do yet, well, who cares about yet? By the time they get done with it, you've made millions of dollars. Who gives a fuck? And then you can move on to the next thing that there's no regulation on. What do you mean? Come on. They could get fucked retroactively? That never happens. When does that ever happen? People get rich, go to jail all the time. You're smart. You'd still be rich whenever you get out. Yeah, but to me, like, I'm not going to make this a lot about myself, right? Because it's just like my personal life. To me, it was never about the money or what you get. It was about doing it. I liked doing it. I'd have done it for free.
Right after Save the Kids, and you would have thought that myself and other people like Mutahar would have talked about this whole thing, but Ice Poseidon was working incredibly hard behind the scenes, which is something I need you guys to understand. He was contacting people like myself,
really
pleading with us that he was just joking back then, and he was serious about this coin. He wasn't about to pull off a scam like Save the Kids. He was different. He even mentioned in live streams that Save the Kids was going to make what he was about to do much harder.
I know about the phase coin, Steezy. That's why I'm trying my best to be as transparent as possible. I've been working on this for like a month now, and I
mean, again, how the fuck do you believe this shit? How do you believe? And the thing is, like, it's not like, yeah, you can't do a big expose about it because it hasn't happened yet. But it's one thing is like, you've got to at least make people aware of like what happened. So like, Ice finessed them. Like, the truth is, like, Ice, like, what do y'all, let me ask a question. What do y'all think the odds are that Ice faces legal repercussions for this? What do you think the odds are? I would say probably around 17%. It's illegal? I didn't ask if it was illegal. I said, what are the odds that he'll face repercussions? People do illegal shit all the time, and they get away with it. Like, just because something's against the law doesn't mean that you're not going to get away with it.
I'm going to let that drama stop me, but it definitely makes it a little bit more difficult.
Ice Poseidon repeatedly told skeptics that he couldn't rug this coin if he wanted to. He had locked all his money up in a smart contract. He told me that in DMs. He said, don't worry, no rug here. All the money is locked. Lol. And look, I have to admit, I was busy at the time with some other investigations.
Well, he could have done this. See, like, if I was Ice Poseidon, I'd have had another person who I was working with without like really an online presence. So like, let's say this is what I would have done if I was Ice Poseidon, is I would have had this other person that I was working with no real online presence at all. I would have had that person be the one that actually does the rug pull and have them be an investor. And that way they have no real presence. You can't really look into any details about them. You just kind of have to take them at their word. So then you can work with that person and successfully have that person take the fall for something, split a very small amount of the money with them because there's going to be no repercussions because they don't have an online presence really at all. You can even do it with something like a parent maybe, but that's like a little bit more risky. And then you can come out of it with your reputation mainly unscarred. And you can always trace the transactions on the blockchain. Yeah, but you do it like 2 years later. You do it way later on. And then people aren't going to pay attention to it anymore. And then it's like, you know how whenever a story breaks and it's misinformation and 1 million people see it, and then the retraction gets like 20,000 views? See, that's what you do. See, that's how he should have done. I should have talked to me. He should have talked to me about this. Like I can't believe he just went in. He just went in here and just, you know, ruined his perfect reputation. What a mistake. Crypto's unregulated? Yeah, but the thing is, like, he can't do it again. You always want to set yourself up to do it again.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt, something that I obviously regret now.
I like Ice Poseidon. You know, I met him multiple times. I've always been very friendly with Ice Poseidon, and I think that Ice Poseidon, you know, made a lot of really big impacts on Twitch. Some that were good. This is not good. This is obviously really, really bad. There's no excusing this at all. It's terrible. But the truth is, even as somebody who had the predisposition to like him, I would not have given this the benefit of the doubt. Even as somebody who would have had the predisposition.
Periodically, I would hear, you know, complaints from his community that they thought something was off, but every time I'd go to Ice, he would immediately respond. Just immediately. And he always gave me something that sort of sounded reasonable. And I later learned he was doing the same thing with everyone who said something.
What do you think he was going to tell you? Do you think he was going to say, hey, yo, this shit's fake, but I'm making bank? Don't tell anybody, because if it gets out, they might not give me more of their money. Like, what do you think he was going to say that? But how do you ever expect, like, it's like my dad. Like, we went to go look at mattresses with my dad. It was me and my dad. We go to look at mattresses. By the way, why the fuck is a mattress $3,000? How the fuck does that, when did this happen? I thought a mattress was like $250. It's $3,000. It's $3,000 at Rooms to Go. You believe that shit? Like, go over there yourself. $3 fucking grand for a mattress. What a joke. He's like, well, we're gonna see what the person says. I'm like, oh, you're gonna listen to the person who makes a commission from the sale? You're gonna listen to the person there who's paid to tell you what you want to hear? Oh, okay. Millionaire, by the way? Well, I told him I'd buy it for him. But, like, the thing is that I don't care. I spent $5,000 on it if it help him. His neck's fucked up. So, like, yeah, of course. Obviously, I'd do it. I would not even think about it. But it's like, I'm not going to take the person there whose money is fucking relying on the sale to give me a fair shake of the situation. It's just fair. It's just common sense.
Something negative about CXCOIN. In fact, he got a Dextero article killed about CXCOIN being a scam. I mean,
Smart.
I even asked him about this at the time, and he said this: Dextero article went up and then down? Did you see that? Yeah. I emailed Dex proof I wasn't scamming. So leaving that up, quoting a Twitter with 2 likes is a bit unfair to me.
Yeah.
The point I'm trying to make is he was playing the PR game hard, telling everybody he was different. He even gave me his wallet addresses and told me to hold him accountable. He wasn't going to do it.
This is a very common scam. So this is called a misdirection. I see a lot of people do this, and actually we used to do this a lot too, is that you create something that is basically something that will disarm somebody. And what you do is you want to, you effectively overshare. And you overshare, which disarms the person who is skeptical, and it makes them think twice about their own beliefs. and it actually turns the mind game against them. That's how it works. And so this is a very, very common technique. I'm surprised more people don't see this. Yeah, here's a public thing that proves nothing. See, I'm transparent. Exactly. So you know, like, you already have those things in your back pocket that you're willing to provide immediately because you know they're clean, because the other things that aren't clean, you're not showing people. But because you're misdirecting their attention on the things that are clean, they're not thinking about what's not clean. This is the same thing that I said with these boosting communities giving their ledgers to Blizzard. Is they're not going to give the bad ledgers. They're going to give them the good ledgers. What did you think was going to happen? See, there's a lot of people that get into this idea of people are going to do what they should do. And that's how they get taken advantage of. Is that they assume that people will not do something bad. They will not do something wrong. They will not... it's like, oh, this probably won't happen. It's too risky, or it's whatever, and that's how you that's how it happens. It doesn't make it right to be a scammer, though, just because two people exist. You're totally right. So I use this example, and this reaction is gonna be like 3 hours. Like, I'm so sorry, guys. Please just click ahead to the next time the actual video starts. I'm going to tell another fucking metaphor. I'm going to do another metaphor, guys. It's metaphor time. So look, if you leave your car unlocked in the shittiest part of town, in an empty parking lot, overnight, and in the passenger seat there's a brand new PS5. You come in the next day. Guess what's not in the passenger seat? That's right, it's the PS5. It's gone. You call the police. The police are like, what happened? He said the PS5 got stolen out of the car. They say, all right, well, we're going to look into it. Did the person that stole it out of the car commit a crime? Yes. Should that person face legal repercussions? Yes. Are you an idiot for leaving it in the car? Yes. It's common sense. Placing blame on victim, nice. Let me tell you something. A little bit of this victim blaming. Guess what? You got to look out for yourself, because if you don't, nobody else will. Smarten the fuck up. Learn to think for yourself, and don't just expect somebody's going to protect you, because guess what? Nobody gives a fuck about you. Nobody cares about you. The cops don't care about you. You're wasting their fucking time. The courts don't care about you. You're wasting their fucking time. The other people around you don't probably care about you to the point to where you inconvenience them. You are on your own. And the sooner that you realize that, the sooner that you take accountability for yourself, the sooner that you stop calling yourself a victim and start thinking about what I could do better to prevent this from happening to me in the future. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're a victim or not. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. It still happened to you. You have to live with that. And the future, to some degree, is controllable by you. You can go off and blame the world and say it's the world's fault. You can say that, oh, well, it's these people, it's that people, it's everybody else that are fucking getting down on me. It's the government, it's fucking Ice Poseidon, it's somebody else. And you know what? You might actually be right. But the truth is that whenever you go to bed that night, whenever you wake up the next morning, you are still in the same body. You still have to be accountable for what happens. And it doesn't matter what the fucking, what's fair. It doesn't matter who deserves what. Nobody gives a fuck about that. It doesn't make a difference. You spend all your time thinking about something that's not real. Let's say that somebody like this does get held accountable. Does this, like, are you still down the money? Did you still lose your money? Did you still get fucked over? Do you still probably have to sign off on a lot of papers on, I'm assuming, a class action lawsuit in the best case scenario where they can recover your funds based off of how much that you actually invested? Yes, you do. This is going to be hours of your life that you're spending because of a bad mistake that's your fault. You take accountability for yourself, because if you don't, nobody will. I think there's a lot of people out there who they sit down and they let bad things happen to them all the time. They sit down and they let bad things happen to them, and this kind of stuff happens. And then whenever it happens, there's always this culture of removing accountability from people. Removing accountability. You're always removing accountability. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Well, guess what? It might not be your fault, but you still could have done a better job to avoid it. And at the end of the day, this is your life now.
Anything shady, and everyone sort of felt like, okay, maybe he's doing something different. You know, maybe everything he's been saying was, you know, just a joke.
Because, dude, if I see $1 million, I'm selling. I don't give a. I'm not gonna be like, I'll hold for you guys, bro. I see $1 million in my portfolio, I'm out.
Not gonna lie.
Fuck it, dude.
Bad, but I'm gonna be really generous here and give Ice the benefit of the doubt. That clip probably was a joke, and it was probably made before he was actually thinking about.
Well, it was a joke, unless it's a joke until you see $1 million in the account. He was joking. He was telling the truth. He was joking. He wasn't gonna do that. But then it happened, and it was like, well, I mean, like, it's a different thing now, right? I mean, I wasn't really talking about, I mean, like, it's just different.
Making CXCOIN into a real thing.
Now, as time moved on, I and many other people sort of forgot about CXCOIN until January, when I decided to take a break for a little while. And while I was off, I couldn't help but feel that there was something else going on. I just had a hunch I had to look back. So with my free time, I joined the CXCOIN Telegram and started tracing back the wallets that Ice Poseidon had given me so transparently. And pretty soon I found out that, well, he gave me the wrong crypto wallets. Whoops.
Right, because the thing is that if you give people something, this is true. This is something I did with references for jobs a lot, is I'd give fake references and or like a reference a reference to something that like it would be kind of correct, but it would be like a really big pain in the ass for somebody to actually figure out like where to actually call. And yeah, most people do that. And the reason it usually works is because they're not going to spend the amount of time to try to actually validate it. The moment that there's any friction at all, they're busy. They've got a million other things to do. The moment that there's any friction at all, they're just going to move on to the next thing.
He gave me the DX sale wallet instead of his personal wallet, which didn't tell me anything. For example, one of those things he didn't tell me was the fact that he took out $200,000 from the liquidity pool at the very beginning, which is directly at odds with what Ice Poseidon told me himself when I asked. He said, don't worry, all the money is locked up, except for $200,000,
yeah.
I guess. But it also hit another story,
it was except for $200,000,
which was the misappropriation of the so-called marketing wallet. Now, according to CXCOIN's own white paper, the marketing wallet was to be used exclusively to, quote, fund marketing campaigns in the cryptocurrency market. But in the Telegram, there was another story going on. Ice Poseidon was complaining that he had spent money on an ad campaign and it just hadn't helped. Quote, we spent $53K on a BTOC and it hasn't really helped. The wallet is limited. He berated people who complained. You want me to spend $30K on stuff that doesn't help? Or you want me to think about the best ways to use marketing money?
Yeah.
Exactly. You can't use the marketing money on, well, you know, marketing.
No.
Instead, the money seemed to go somewhere else.
I wonder
Shortly
where it
after
went.
this coin launched, Ice Poseidon bought...
Where could this money have possibly gone? It's another... It's another unknowable mystery that can never be unraveled. It doesn't matter how hard you try. It doesn't matter how much you can never figure out where did that money go. It's just such a mystery.
Himself a brand new Tesla. This video was published July 24th, and as he says, he bought it a week ago, putting it right around the time
picking up a new Tesla. Huh. That is crazy. That is crazy. Well, to be fair though, you know, let's think about this. Let's look at this from Ice Poseidon's perspective, okay? Like, this is not... Look, guys, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. The way he's thinking about this is if you want to get people to spend big, you've got to spend big. And if you... like, do you want to have the main owner of this coin driving around in a 1996 Toyota Corolla? No, man. Like, you want them driving around in that brand new Tesla because that shows people the power of the coin. It shows people that the people that invest in this coin get money. Right? I mean, right? I mean, like, that's good, right? You're still in Final Fantasy category, by the way? Oh, yeah. To be fair, this was a fucking fantasy. To be fair.
He launched the coin and realized he had suddenly gotten a lot of money to his name.
Yeah.
But I'm sure all that money is locked up, right? Apparently not. And here's the interesting thing. The longer things went on, Ice Poseidon just sort of gotten more and more brazen with the way he used the money, right? At first, it was just sort of sitting...
It's always how it is, right? And it's not just brazen. Here's the other thing. It is like most of the time, it's like whenever you... This is how people get caught selling drugs, right? This is what happens. Is that whenever you first get into it, you follow all of your protocol. And you are logical, you're smart, and you take all of the precautions that you have in your mind to remove yourself from risk. And slowly, over time, after you get away with it so many times, and it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, you slowly relax those restrictions that you put on yourself. You slowly start to be more lax. You get cocky. You almost want to do it out in front. You want to show off that you can do this, right? It's an ego thing for you. I've seen people do this. It's complacency. You're right. Like, you guys ever seen had a friend that's like a drug dealer or something like that? Had that happen? Yeah, same thing.
Then he started sending it to cash out wallets, and eventually I calculated that there's roughly $250,000 missing from that marketing wallet. But that's not all. Ice Poseidon had tricked his followers at this point by getting them to buy into a vision of a long-term project. The whole idea was that this was going to be a donation platform for streamers and that it would take a while to build. He kept reiterating this again and again.
I mean, this is a long-term project. I'm trying to, we're making a donation platform, so I'm going to put that on my stream, and this coin will just be around for the entirety of my streams.
He said this a lot in the Telegram too. You know, this is long term, right? Thanks, guys. I assume everyone is in it for the long haul. Anyone who invests in something should know this was a long-term project, so 1 week is not going to see results. Now, later, I would find out this was a lie. Ice Poseidon did not see this as a long-term project. He actually gave up after 2 weeks. But I think I'm getting a little ahead of myself.
Well, that is a long-term project. To be fair, for a streamer, being invested in something that you spend your time in for 2 weeks, that is what I would like to call the long haul. That is a long-term project. Like, that's something that you are invested in, you're thinking about. It's a big deal.
Ice was getting brazen. He was increasingly intolerant of people who called him a scammer, saying they just hadn't done their research. He even brought my name into it, saying he had talked to Coffeezilla, maybe implying that I had cleared him.
And I've talked to these fucking people, Coffeezilla. I've talked to these guys. I showed them the coin. I showed them everything.
And this is what people do. And this is another type of this is language that people use. This is a another way that, like, it's complicated, but it's basically where you tell people the truth that has the benefit of being the truth, because it's easier to tell the truth. Like, in general, it's easier to tell the truth because you always remember it, because that's what actually happened. Like, whenever you're lying, you have to remember, like, oh, I told this guy this thing, that guy that thing, and it gets complicated. But if you tell people the truth, it keeps things clean. So what he did is he told people the truth. He talked to Coffeezilla. That's true. Yeah, I talked to him. And I let him see the coin because he sent the Ethereum wallet. Yeah, it's half-truths.
And, they're giving me the benefit of the doubt, so obviously they would call me out if it was a scam.
Now, I'm going to be honest, this really pissed me off. Ice Poseidon was using my name to try to imply that he was legit, when in actuality, he had just fed me false information about his coin and begged me not to talk about it. But amazing...
Well, not only that, but the implication behind that language is that he talked to him and everything's fine, which would imply that there are no questions, which would imply... There's so many implications here. Bro, it's the people's fault. Look, sorry, stop arguing for a scammer that ripped off his fans. Wait, you think that I'm on Ice Poseidon's side? Wait, are there really people in the audience that think that? There probably are. Yeah, I just want to make it clear, like, that's not true. I think he's in the wrong here. Yeah, I think Ice Poseidon's in the wrong. ban that guy? Well, I mean, like, it doesn't matter. All right, let's move on.
The
Who cares?
final piece of this puzzle wouldn't fall into place until a few days ago.
Ooh.
As I said, Ice had been getting more and more bold, thinking, I guess,
working
that
out.
he had gotten away with this. And on
Damn.
January 22nd, 2022, using his wallet that he didn't tell me about, he drained the liquidity pool, essentially killing his own coin and taking the money from his investors. To be specific, he drained about 90% of the funds, which is about $300,000. Now, for important context, liquidity pools are how you get money out of crypto, right? You can't just cash out a coin like CXCOIN,
Yeah.
right? You can't buy groceries with it. Someone has to be willing to trade you that coin for something that, sort of has value. So coins like this rely on something called liquidity pools, a big sort of pot of money. And what Ice Poseidon did, using the fact that he created this coin, he rug pulled 90% of that from his community, which meant that that's $300,000 that his investors would not be able to get back out. And at this point, I simply had enough. This was a scam. He had lied to me from the beginning, and he had lied to others about it, and I wanted to confront him, but I couldn't let him know that I knew anything. Otherwise, he wouldn't pick up the call. So I simply told him I wanted to chat, and to my surprise, he agreed. And so on the 26th of January, we had the call you're about to see. And mind you, I'm expecting...
Why would you talk to him, Ice? What are you doing? This is the brazen complacency that happens to drug dealers after they spend too many years on the street. And that ensures that they don't spend too many more years on the street. It happens to people all the time. It's like, what do you think? So, let's say that I have a, I'm building a bomb in my backyard. Let's say, hypothetically, I'm building a bomb in my backyard, and I'm making it out of gunpowder, and it's right in the backyard. Everybody can see it. You drive by, you see this huge bomb, and it's not like a bomb where it's like something that looks technological, right? In one of these movies. No, it's like it's like the big black ball with the fuse that comes on top. And you've got this gigantic fucking 8-foot tall bomb full of gunpowder and like other types of shit. You've got all this, and then the bomb squad shows up at the house, and they say, "Can we come in?" And like, let's say you ask them if they have a warrant. They don't have a warrant. They're like, "We're just thinking, maybe we might want to take a look inside and see what's going on." Bomb squad shows up, and they say, "Can we come inside?" Why the fuck would you say yes? What do you think they're here for? What do you think? They're just going around to just everybody's house like, "Hey, what's up, man? Well, we're in the neighborhood. We want to see what's going on." Like, why the fuck do you think that this guy hit you up? Why do you think that happened? I'll tell you why. Is because there's some bullshit going on. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. That's what it is. At some point, you convince yourself that you can talk your way out of these situations because you've done it so many times. Yeah, exactly. And it's like it's the same as like in a video game, right? Where like you beat like like the trash mobs, you beat maybe the mini boss, and then it like builds up your confidence, and you're like, okay, main boss, let's talk to this reporter guy, and I bet I can finesse this dude because let's be honest, Ice finessed him before. He already finessed him. This is round 2 or 3.
Him sort of to deny everything, like who would take credit for this? Well, Ice would, I guess.
It looks like the coin got rugged. You know anything about that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, not rugged, but I mean...
Well, someone pulled all the liquidity out. That's a rug, right?
That would be a rug, yes.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's not... It's like, okay, so... Sir, I arrested you, and it seems like you have the things in the store that you didn't pay for in your backpack. Why are you stealing? He's like, it's not stealing. And he's like, so what would you call somebody who takes things out of the store without paying for them? Stealing. Okay, so what are you doing? I mean, I mean, look, dude. I mean, you can. There's a lot of different things you call it. I mean, like, it is. Look, bro. I mean, there's a lot of different things. Like, the world is a crazy place, and anything can happen. And it's like there's so many different ways that you can look at a situation. That, like, is any one way really true? Is any one way really real? Like, words are a human construct. Yeah, that's not how I look at it.
No liquidity in there.
40K got left and 300K got ripped out or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, that is exactly what happened.
Right. Are you laughing? I mean, is that funny?
I mean, no.
You're hearing this right. He's admitting he took out 90% of the money, but that's not a rug pull, apparently. He had to do it after all. The crypto markets were crashing, and if he didn't take out the money, who would?
The crypto market is crashing.
Yeah.
And $300,000 is in there. There's two options, right? Leave the money in there, and then if BNB goes down to like $100, the money goes to shit anyways, or I could take it and the money is not just going to dust.
The money
Yeah, that's a good point, right? I mean, the thing is that if he takes all the money, and the thing is, then he would have the money, and that, like, and this is the thing. So that was, like, I would have assumed that before, you know, the conversation, this was the play that he was going to do. Is he was going to take it out, and he's going to hold on to everybody's money. He's going to hold on to everybody's money so they don't get worried. They don't get scared. He's just going to hold on to it because he doesn't want to have anything bad happen. Like a bank. Yeah, like a bank. Except for there's no FDIC. There's just a big DICK.
The money would have never gone to dust. I mean, it just would go back to the investors when they sold out, when you told them, hey, guys, I'm no longer interested in this project. I wipe my hands of it. You know, you got your 50K in, you got your 50K out, you're good.
Yeah.
Right? You didn't deliver. This is not your money. I can't believe you keep thinking of it as like as your money that's going away.
Well, it is his money. That's why it's in his wallet. Well, what do you mean? He's not thinking it of his money. Like, it's not his money. It's in the liquidity pool. Well, then how's it in his account then? If it's not his money, then how is it in his account? See, isn't that interesting? Because he moved it. Well, isn't that convenient? Isn't that just a happy little accident that this thing just happened to happen in such a fortuitous way?
That's your investors' money, and it should be their decision what they do with it.
Okay, I mean, that's a fair point.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Despite all these fair points I kept making, every time Ice got cornered about the fact that he was basically stealing from his investors, he slowly pivoted his language from, oh, this isn't a rug pull, to more like, well, the investors deserved it. He said, they believe too much in his project and his word.
There's like
No, it's definitely, yeah.
the responsibility is on them as well for
Right.
being, you know, like putting.
Here the thing, right? Is like, to a certain degree, it's true, right? Because like they should have never fucking invested in this thing. Like, it's definitely right. And this is how. Remember what I said before? If you're gonna do a bad thing, call it a bad thing. If you're gonna scam people, scam them, and you say "fuck you, bitch." That's what you get. The moment that you start rationalizing your bad decisions, that you start rationalizing doing bad things to other people, that is the descent into madness. That is the point of no return. If you're gonna be a cock, call yourself a cock, not a rooster. That's the thing. He stole the Guild Bank IRL. Here's the reality, right? This is my perspective on what's going through Ice Poseidon's head. All right, I'm gonna try to do a little bit of brain magic here. I don't know if I'm right, but I think it makes sense. Ice Poseidon has had his life ruined by his viewers. Ice Poseidon has also contributed to that himself. He is not a victim in this circumstance, but there are things that were done to him that made him a victim, like swatting him, for example, or different types of stream snipers that were way too aggressive. Let's be honest. His audience has ruined his life in many ways. They harassed his parents, they harassed everybody around him, and just in general, they tried to make his life as unpleasant as possible. So in Ice's mind, Ice feels justified in doing this because they've ruined his life, and he's trying to cash out and get what he can. And because he has placed himself in this victim position, which is partially true and partially not true, he feels justified in doing it. Do you think that's what he thinks? Do you think that he feels justified? That's what I think. That's what I think is going on. I don't care about this event. This does not really matter to me. I care about points on a line and how those points, points on a graph and how those points make a line and where that line is going. I don't give a shit about this. I don't give a shit about the people that lost their money. I feel bad for them, but I don't know them. Ice Poseidon, again, I generally like the guy, but he's not a close friend of mine. I'm not involved in this. I'm not invested in this. This doesn't matter to me. But what I do care about is understanding the mind of people who take these actions. Because that is what predicts the next one that will happen probably within a month. I care about knowing what's going to happen with the next one. Not the first one. You got a lot to say about it, though? Of course I do. It's 7 in the morning and I don't want to go to bed. What else am I going to do? It's what I do. I talk about this. I've had 2 days to think about this thing.
Too much emotion into it.
Now, look, I want to be clear. I agree that investing in any influencer coin is idiotic. But
True.
The logic here seems to be insane. They believed me, so it's okay. I scammed them.
Exactly.
I asked Ice about this.
I don't know if you're trying to say they deserve it. You're saying they owe some responsibility. I agree they owe some responsibility, but do they deserve to get ripped off?
No, I mean, nobody deserves that.
It's just what happened, though.
Well, he's not ripping them off. He just took the money out of the account. He's not doing, it's not a rug pull. He just took all the money out. The thing is, like, yeah, it's not stealing. I just took all your stuff and I put it in my car. Like, I'm holding on to it. You ever had somebody say, can I hold $1? Can I hold 20? You're not holding it, bruh. You using it. It's language.
Like I said, sometimes you have to look out for yourself. I don't really know how else you want me to put it. I mean, you could say it in all these different ways to make it sound as horrible as possible. And you know what? I can agree with you on some of those things. I just don't like to put it in those specific ways because it makes it sound like that was the intention from the start, which it wasn't.
And there it is, the final refuge of every scammer. I started with good intentions. I meant to do the right thing.
He did. I'm sure that Ice Poseidon, to some degree, was thinking about doing the right thing. And do you know whenever he decided not to do the right thing? Probably around the time where the money in the account was very large. No, I will. No. I will grant him that. I will grant him that at one point in time, this project was made with good intentions. I can easily grant that. Because in my opinion, it doesn't really matter, does it? Does this really matter? Like, no, it doesn't. But like, I could, this is within the realm of possibility. And what I'm saying is, like, there are a lot of people, and this is the truth. How many people do you know that aren't thieves, but if they got a $10,000 in a wallet in $100 bills randomly, and there wasn't anything else really in the wallet, would turn it in? See, the thing is that I keep that shit. Yeah, exactly. But you're not a thief. But you're not a thief, are you? But $10,000 is a lot of money, isn't it? Isn't that interesting? There are some people right here. I hate to do this in the middle of a stream, but there are some people who are unhappy with what I've been saying. I'm going to read this. You said you don't defend this guy, but you still like him. As you said in stream 2 days ago, how the fuck can you like this scam douchebag? I hope he gets life in jail. You might not defend him, but you already said that you like him. How the fuck can you like him? Fuck scam Poseidon. So this is a person who's mad. This is an individual who is unhappy. He's going to unfollow me now. I'm going to be unfollowed. I'm defending Ice. So you say you're not defending him, and you spend... How long do you think this video is going to be? He bought? Oh, God. Like, this is going to be like a 1-hour video. Holy shit. Listen, bro. I'm not defending him. I think you're too emotionally invested in this to have a conversation logically. I mean, he probably bought the coin. Your analogy doesn't work. It's a little bad-faced fraud, which is a little bit different than theft, but the end result is the same. Well, look, I mean, like, all right, so, let's say you're, like, okay, like, do you want to make a one-to-one analogy? Like, okay, let's say your friend is a big content creator, like Logan Paul or Ice Poseidon, and they tell you to invest in the coin and then take your money out at this time, and you're going to make 100 times your investment, and you invest $1,000 and you're going to be able to make $100,000 if you take the money out. Would you take the money out? Well, would you take the money out? Probably, yeah. I think a lot of people would, but many of the people that said that they would say they're not frauds. Like, all I'm saying is that opportunity. What did they say in the Lord's Prayer? Lead me not into temptation. And Satan ain't shit. Amen.
But I kept reminding Ice Poseidon or Paul or whatever, like, his excuses made no sense because it wasn't as if the money was gone. It wasn't as if it had vanished. He still had it and could return it at any point. He doesn't have to go down as the scammer.
So I don't know why you're acting like it has to.
No, it doesn't matter now. He's already going to go down as the scammer. At this point, the thing is, Ice can maybe try to put the money back and recover the trust from the community, but what people are going to say is that you're not sorry you did it, you're only sorry you got caught. And if the video didn't come out, it would have never happened, and you'd be on vacation right now in the Bahamas. So you're not going to be able to recover. Like, he will not be able to recover. I don't think so. Now, who knows? I mean, people invested in it in the first place. Maybe they're going to keep investing. I don't know. But I mean, I have a pretty good feeling that this is going to, like, the 80% of people are going to be off the CXCOIN train, even if he puts the money back in.
With, like, you being the bad guy here. That's not what I'm trying to do at all. I'm trying to, like, get you to return the money because it's 100% still available and you could do that. So that's what I'm not understanding.
Why would he?
I want to get to that point. I don't think we're going to get there.
If you want the answer, yeah, I could give the money back. It is within my power. If you want the answer,
tell me that he didn't say that, with that smile. Tell me, bro, what? You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. You can hear him smiling, dude.
Yeah, I could give the money back. It is within my power. But I'm going to look out for myself and not do that. I don't know what else to say. That's just the most honest answer.
Now, I do believe he's being honest here. I believe this is the most masked off anybody's ever been on my channel. Most of the time when you get these guys on the phone, they just try to deflect and dodge. I don't think that's happening here. Ice is being 100% transparent, and I realized it was a unique opportunity to get the full story of how these scams work. Ice Poseidon proceeded to walk me through the details on exactly how long it takes to whip up an influencer scam like this.
Oh, geez. So this is another thing. Oh, my God. So this is another thing that people that get complacent and brazen and too much into their ego do, is that, so this is what they do. This is the mask off moment where they say, basically they do this to explain how smart they are. And he will be telling the story. This is, like, what he's going to be saying here is probably true. You explain the magic trick. It's like, abracadabra, alakazam, $300,000, bam, it's mine. Fuck you. You know, that's it. Yeah, scam. Yeah, scam. That's fuck. I should have thought of that. So yeah, what I'm saying here is that yes, this is what people do, is that once they complete their scam, once they win effectively, they will then go and they'll go and then explain exactly. They'll go out of their way to explain exactly how they did it and everything about it. and everything involved with it. And they will be telling the truth. It will all be true. And they do it because, you know, they want to feel smart. You know, they want to show people how smart they are. Look at me. Look what I can do. I don't know what asshole would do this, but, you know, it happens over and over. Yes, it's the villains. Yes, it's the villain. It is the villain monologue at the end of the movie. It's, you know, the Joker is getting carried away to Arkham Asylum again, and as he's getting carried away, he's explaining to fucking Batman how he got him.
And the profits you can expect from it.
Can you tell me how much money you made off this? I'll just call it a scam. I know you don't want to call it a scam, but it is a scam. So what did you make off this?
Well, I got 55%, and then 45% went to my developers. So I don't know, probably like 300,000.
Nice. What a good profit from doing. I mean, how long did you work on this project? Like, seriously, how long did you work? I'm just curious.
Well, like you said, it was a fork, so I don't know, a couple weeks.
This is a long
What do you plan to do with the money?
Invest into crypto, Ethereum, mainly.
Well, there you have it. For 2 weeks of work, forking someone else's program, you can get $300,000, which annualized is a pay rate of $7.8 million per year if he would just...
Guys, I think we're going to be moving over to crypto. Yeah. I was just going over the numbers, and it just seems like it makes a whole lot more sense. We're going to have Asmongold. We're going to start minting Asmongold. Let's see. It's Wednesday. We'll have it by next Monday, guys. Yeah. There you go. Big Dick Coin. Yeah. Look, Dick Coin, that's 2021, okay? Now it's all about Big Dick Coin.
Scam every 2 weeks. It's not hard to see the appeal,
BDC.
obviously, but what blew my mind is that he hadn't gotten away with this. Like, he got caught red-handed, and somehow, I guess I was just expecting him to go, oh, well, okay, I guess I'll return the money now. But no, he just kept doubling down.
You are deciding to do the shitty thing. You know that, and you're still doubling down.
I am doubling down. Do you not agree, though, some of the responsibility is on people who, if you're still holding something that's inactive for months, like, sure, okay, maybe they, you know, have faith in me, whatever, but that's not a good...
That's your fans, dude. That's your fans. These are people who followed you since they were kids. They admire you. They look up to you. That's the people you're saying, well, that's their fault.
I honestly couldn't believe what he was saying here. Not
Really? Really? Like, is that really true, man? I mean, is that really true? I mean, I think we can believe it. It's not true at all. No, and this is always... this always has an element of truth to it with scamming, is that, yes, to a certain degree, it is the responsibility of the other person. But here's a really good way to see whose fault it really is. If the other person was just stupid, well, then they're just stupid. But whenever you come around, then you scam them. So if you're not there, nobody's getting scammed. So it's really, you are the common denominator here in the scamming. Oh, well, they learned their lesson. Oh, yeah, and this is what I said before, right, is you need to be responsible for things, and ICE isn't totally fucking wrong, but it's just not what you're supposed to say after you steal everybody's money. That's not what you're supposed to say. It's not what you're supposed to say. Somebody has to do it. Yes, somebody has to do it. If I didn't do it, somebody else would have done it, and to a certain degree, that is true. And it is true. However, just because that is true doesn't mean that it's okay.
Not that he didn't care. You know, I'm kind of used to that. But he clearly expects zero consequences for his action, right? And
why
this
would
made
he?
me think that at least part of the reason for this might be because stories like Save the Kids, which got huge press, ultimately nothing happened. Don't get me wrong.
True.
It's important to get these stories out there anyway. But you have to understand the inner workings of the greedy influencer. When you don't...
Why are we showing out graphs? Like, just put out the big number, and that's not this. There's not a whole lot of calculus here. There's just addition and subtraction. A lot of the guys that are doing these scams, they got kicked off FaZe Clan, stuff like this happens. I think, again, like, look at Josh OG. Look at Josh OG. Josh OG was the secretary, if I remember right, on the fucking CSGO lotto thing. And this guy managed to fucking convince people that being the secretary is the same thing as Martha, who takes phone calls for an accounting office. He's the secretary on the fucking, the articles of incorporation. And people believe this because they're fucking stupid. And guess what? Josh OG is getting sponsor deals. He's still a successful streamer. He's doing fucking great. So there's actually a really good fucking use case of people that scam their audience. They pretend, oh, well, you know, and he had to deal with some shit for a few years. He did. People hated him, and they're going to call him Scam OG. And you know what happens? He bans him in his chat, and he says, good vibes, boys, puts on the banana suit, and keeps streaming. And that's what happens. And it doesn't fucking matter, and he keeps making money. He got a sponsorship from Amazon to do New World. He makes thousands of dollars, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars from that. It was a huge sponsor. The reason why people think that they're going to get away with it is that everybody gets away with it. That's why. Because they do. Like, if for example, all the guys from the last scam, like, let's think about this logically, right? Let's look at, like, the MILF coin, the fucking Save the Children thing, and, like, let's assume that there's one more of these that I'm just not thinking of right now. If every single one of those people were in jail right now, do you think that ICE would have started CXCOIN? No, obviously not. And maybe he would have started it, but he certainly wouldn't have taken the money out.
Have law enforcement consequences for what is essentially theft and fraud. You end up with people like Ice Poseidon realizing they can do the same without consequence. And I'm not merely speculating here. This clip you're about to watch is of Ice Poseidon discussing with his partner, Moises, what happened to Sam Pepper, one of the leaders of Save the Kid. They don't talk as if he's a cautionary tale, but instead as if Sam Pepper had won, as if Sam Pepper had beat the system. He stole money, and he got away with it.
He did. That's the thing. But he did. People are mad that it happened, but that doesn't change the fact that it happened. And do you really think whenever Sam Peppa comes back in a year after this controversy and he makes 3 good videos, his community is still going to care? Does anybody think this? No. It's going to be a new fresh stock of 14-year-olds or 17-year-olds or 21-year-olds. And whenever they were 17, they didn't know about this. And they heard about it, but it's like, it's some shit that happened in the past. I know Sam, he wouldn't do that. He's different now. He took a year off to work on himself. He started working out. He bought a dog. He's a different guy now. Totally different. He's reformed.
I did watch that Coffeezilla video. I think Sam's a fucking millionaire now. So I think he still succeeded me, although he got it in a very poor way. He made up like a bandit, bro.
Sam's probably a fucking lower life. Probably has like 3 million crypto. The dude broke his lease.
If you got a
Tesla, the dude paid like, what was it, 10 stacks to break his lease.
I don't know. Yeah, if you're breaking your lease and leaving the country, I mean,
Isn't that interesting? I wonder why he would do that. Isn't that interesting? I wonder why he would do that. That's crazy. Wow.
You made it. You
flew first class.
I mean,
to Europe.
If he really felt the need to do all that, then he probably made plenty of money.
I heard
Sam Pepper scammed people, but because he did it without going to jail, he's successful. He got away with it.
How is he not? He's got $3 million. You see what I'm saying? Like, how is he not? Reputation counts too? Not whenever you have $3 million. If reputation counts so much, then how do you explain all of the other instances that I gave people? Like, I don't know how everybody can say that nobody will care in a year if he still makes good content, and simultaneously his reputation is a reason why he shouldn't do it. Either one is true or the other one is. There's no social credit implementation. No, there's not. It's like you don't go to Bank of America and be like, how much is in my checking account? Sir, it's $643. Okay, what about my reputation account? Well, sir, you've gotten a lot of props this week on Twitter. You're up to $245,000 in your reputation account. Would you like to transfer some of that over to your checking account? Yeah, let's go ahead and move some over.
That's how these people think. So is it any wonder when Ice Poseidon is caught also stealing money, his response is, oh, well, I'm just going to look out for number one. It's their fault for getting scammed. They shouldn't have believed me. He's just so obviously not afraid of getting caught.
Yeah.
And why would he?
And the best thing about this, you know what I think is really funny about it? Is the fact that by him doing that, there will be people that respect him doing that. And they will actually like him more because he's willing to just be completely out with it.
Ask them about this.
Like it's the Trump effect or whatever, or anything like that. Yeah, I respect him doing that. There are even people in the chat right now because he's getting away with it, honestly. And people respect it. It's the same as he respected Sam Pepper.
Fact, whether these things should be prosecuted. And he seemed to think that this was a wild idea.
Do you think the FBI should get involved with cases like this, or like the SEC, or do you think like people like you should be prosecuted?
No.
I can't say this enough. These guys.
What was he gonna say? What was he gonna say? What was he gonna say? He's like, yeah, I think I should go to jail. I mean, that is not what I would say. Yeah, that's not what I would say. Only thing I respect about it is that he's honest about it and he doesn't care. Ship person either way. And that is the path to redemption. And that's what I told you guys. I told you guys people were going to think this. I told you they're going to think this. And you'll see. You'll see what happens. It's literally stealing money and candy from a child due to the target audience of their content. And that's what being successful is. Yeah. If you steal enough money from kids, if you steal $3 million, nobody cares about how you get the money. You have $3 million. An average person would say you're successful. Now, I don't think that this fixation on morality is as tangible as you might believe it is. And also, like, you're completely discounting how distorted this story will be over the years. And how much more people will believe that the story was distorted 5 or 10 years from now. Because it's like, oh, well, it happened, years ago. It's a long story. The video's not right. And people just blow it off. Nothing about what I'm saying is wrong.
Aren't scared. They think they can do whatever they want. They'll just fork a coin, take $300,000, another $200,000, another $250K, and walk away and screw you. What are you going to do about it? Oh, and by the way, in case you thought that this was just a matter of Ice Poseidon messing up once, I actually found old clips of him admitting to what seems to be some kind of credit card phishing scam.
I fished credit cards back when I was younger, dude. I didn't do anything with the credit cards because I was like afraid of going to jail.
But that time he didn't go through with it because he was afraid of the consequences. Well, that was then and this was now, and now he's not scared anymore. Ultimately, this whole conversation.
That's not why. It's because there's consequences for scamming credit cards. Yeah, it was on RuneScape. Well, there's a lot of ways that you can, a lot of ways that people can do it. With like a thing that's at like a gas station, and it basically like reads the transactions, and like now, it's not as common of a thing. But it's not social engineering. No, it's not. It's an actual, it's a skimmer. There you go. And basically, it's able to read the transactions. Ways that you can get around that are you can use RFID blocker, what is it called? Why am I saying a wallet? Or like you can actually even have RFID blocker cards in your wallet if it's an old wallet. Or another thing that you can do is if you have multiple credit cards all stacked on top of each other, or just cards in general, it becomes harder to read because of just the way that they fit together. That's what I've heard.
Between me and Ice ended with us just sort of going in circles. Me pointing out that what he was doing was ethically wrong. Him telling me that he agreed, but he essentially doesn't care. And I felt sort of like a failure afterwards, to be honest. I didn't achieve my goal of having Ice Poseidon return the money to his victims. However, a few hours afterwards, Ice Poseidon DM'd me one last time. He told me he wasn't going to give all the money back, but he was planning to give a little bit of it back.
Did he?
$155,000. Now, I want to be clear about this. Giving back $155,000 is...
Did he? No. He gave 30K? Well, that's like 300K. It's just minus a zero. Yeah, I mean, that...
better than nothing. It's good for the investors who hopefully will withdraw their money as soon as
zero. Zero's not worth anything.
But it's so obviously a last-minute Hail Mary for whatever is left of his reputation. It's kind of pathetic. I mean, to be clear, he's still keeping the bulk of the money. He knows that, and he knows that we know that. Remember, this still leaves him with taking $200,000 from the project at the start, another $250,000 from the marketing wallet, which went basically nowhere, and then $300,000 from the liquidity pool, of which he's saying, okay, I'll return $155,000. I don't know what this is supposed to demonstrate. Are people supposed to all of a sudden applaud as he gives a small fraction of what he took? Except wait.
Yeah, because that's what they will do. Whenever he posts that he's going to give the money back, all he has to do is post that he's going to do it, make it to where responses on the tweet are disabled, and you just slowly start building back your reputation. Because it's not about getting 100% of people to believe it. It's about getting 10%. And then, maybe a little bit more. And then maybe a little bit more.
Wait a minute. I just checked. Ice Poseidon doesn't even seem like he can do that much. After DMing me, I went to the Telegram and his admin updated everyone and said, we just finished a buyback of over 120 BNB rocket emoji, which is not $155,000. It's only $40,000. Now, whether Ice Poseidon has actual plans to put the rest in or, oh my gosh, return the full amount, I really doubt it. It's just amazing to see that Ice seems to be doing this only because he got caught, sort of got interrogated for 30 minutes, and faces reputational damage, yet he still can't muster the moral courage, or at least fear, to return the small fraction of money he promised. And so to close this, look, I'll be honest, in my opinion, Ice Poseidon is not...
He probably only told them that so he wouldn't put out the video. And then I'm assuming that after he put out the video, the amount, 155K, was not necessary anymore.
A good person. I don't think he regrets anything or feels bad about any of this. And I think the unfortunate conclusion many other influencers will come to when looking at this is that Ice, like Sam Pepper, has finally made it.
He's made it.
Succeeded in the influencer game. He's gotten away with it. Or has he? There may still be ways to prevent stuff like this from happening. There are two things you can really do. Number one, you can share this video so more people become aware of what Ice did and get more eyeballs on it. But two, if anyone was scammed by CXCOIN and lost money, they can report their losses to icy3.gov, link below. This is the FBI submission portal if you've been defrauded or wronged. And if enough people report things like this, there's a chance people will be brought to justice. I just hope it happens sooner than later. That way I'll stop hearing about how influencers like Sam Pepper made it. Until then, all I can do is report, dig, and investigate. That's all for now. I'm Coffeezilla. Thanks for watching.
What a great video. What a great video. It's great to see somebody like this really invest their time and really put themselves out there to do something like this. It's a huge risk for a lot of people to do something like this, and it's really impressive. I'm going to go ahead and link the video as well, and you guys can give this guy... I very rarely sub to people on my second channel because it's just my own personal channel. But I think this guy deserves to hit 1 million subs. I really do. And so I'm going to give him a like, and I'm going to give him a sub. I hope he gets there. We need more people that can bring accountability to this issue. And while the law, I think, is very far behind, the truth is that we have people like this that are able to immediately bring light to these things. And I'm sure that Coffeezilla and probably the other people that Ice... finessed, probably feel stupid and to some degree accountable because obviously they didn't report on it earlier because they had their guard down. I wouldn't feel bad like that. It was all intentional. You trusted somebody, and while I think that it was a mistake to do so, it's a learning experience, and I think that this will probably, in the long run, make the community stronger and make more people able to identify these scams before they happen. I know I meme around and I joke around and I goof around, and I do that because it's funny, and I think that it's a good way to get people to see my perspective. But the truth is that this is a reverse Robin Hood. This is a person stealing from the poor and giving to themselves, which is a rich person. It's really disappointing to see this from Ice Poseidon, somebody who, in a lot of ways, I did respect for a number of the things that he's done on Twitch with live streaming, and the fact that he did really try to make it on YouTube. I did respect that. And it's really disappointing to see somebody who you did respect do this to themselves. And I think it's even more disappointing to know that the chances are that nothing will really happen. I don't think that it's very likely that the FBI will be able to charge him. I don't think it's very likely that it will happen at all. I think that if I was Ice Poseidon, what would I do? It depends, right? Because if he wants to, I feel like there's a certain point where it's like irreparable damage has been done, and it's like after you rob a bank, it's going to be really hard to get a job working at a bank. So it's just like, yeah, like how do you recover from this? I hope this serves as a learning experience for the community to just simply don't invest in influencer coins, period. Like, that's it. Just don't do it. I like goofing around and I like having fun and talking about how it's a scam and how I wish I did it and everything like that. Yeah, that's all real nice and cute and good. But this is real people losing their, people invest their life savings into this stuff because they're stupid. And it sucks. They invested like $100 max. Yeah, but the thing is, for a lot of people, especially young people that are investing in something like CXCOIN, $100 for them is probably like $1,000 or like, maybe $3,000 or $4,000 for a lot of you guys. $100 is a lot of fucking money, man. I remember whenever I made $100 in the Diablo 3 auction house, I was set for like weeks. That was a really big deal. People don't know how to invest and they're jumping in blindfolded. Well, they're not jumping in blindfolded in this case. They're jumping in. There's a shark that they're talking to, and the shark says to jump in this pool, and there's going to be a bunch of really smoking hot mermaid babes in the pool, and it's actually the shark that's in the pool, and he's going to bite you. Their irrationality and desperation takes over. Yeah, and I think a lot of people are desperate, and that's why they invest into these coins. They're people who their life is at a standstill. They're 23. They don't have any college education. They've worked at, Ross for 3 years stocking clothes. Their life is completely fucking, it's not going anywhere. They're seeing friends of theirs from high school now graduating college and, starting their life and a career. And these people are just desperately trying to cling on to anything that will make them feel like they're not a loser. And that's what they do. Just really try to be careful with this kind of stuff. And especially, like, this is something that you learn if you are dealing with things that are unregulated or illegal, is that it becomes so much more important for you to have that trust. And that is what influencers use and they prey on to take advantage of you, because they have the most powerful thing to get somebody to do what they want, which is trust. That's the strongest type of marketing, is word of mouth. In general, it is. So, you cannot expect people to do the right thing. You cannot expect that. You can want it, and you will never be happy, because it will never happen. And please don't belittle the few things some people have in the world. There's nothing wrong with working a job at Ross or a place like that. Don't refer to them as losers. If you weren't a big streamer, what the fuck do you think you'd be? I would probably be a number of things. I'd maybe be in jail. I would have killed myself. I'd maybe be a lawyer. I'd maybe be running a business. I'd maybe be working at Ross. I don't know. Truth is, I mean, I was in business school. I was getting pretty much straight A's. I was a successful person. And the thing is that if you're working at Ross, I'm not telling them that they're a loser. You can work at Ross your whole life. They're telling themselves that they're a loser. They look in the mirror and they say, I'm a loser. I'm not, it's got nothing to do with me. It's them. Did you like business school? No, I learned more about business from WoW. If you're a loser, you think you're a loser? And like, let's be honest. Like, can we just talk straight here? Working at a retail store is extremely low in the social hierarchy in our culture. Working at Ross or at JCPenney is not taken seriously by most people. Like, I don't care if, oh, well, you shouldn't say that about them. I don't care. I don't care. I talk straight. I talk straight with people. I don't talk around shit. I don't try to bullshit people. I don't try to, oh, well, you know, it's you know, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm not going to coddle people around. It's like a 23-year-old man hearing this kind of shit. If this is going to upset them, maybe they should think about why, rather than getting mad at me. So, yeah, either way, I think this kind of stuff happening is, it's really disappointing. I think that you see this happen to people, and you see people ruin their lives over a dream. They ruin their lives over something that they think that they're going to be bigger and not, they're going to be part of something bigger than themselves, and it turns out that they just get fucked over. That's it. Yeah. They just get fucked over. And it sucks that happens. But the truth is that you need to do your best to make sure that this kind of shit does not happen to you. You can blame the world, blame other people, and you know what? In a lot of cases, you might be right. But the truth is that you can't just, at the end of the day, it's you. You have to be responsible for yourself. And you have to do your best for yourself. And you can either do that, or you can curse your surroundings and blame everything else on other people. And I think that it's not victim blaming. It's not reducing any guilt. It's just simply about what's best for you. And that's what I care, is what's best for you. You can sit around and you can let the tides of time wash you away. You can take up arms against a sea of troubles and fight back and try to actually make something for yourself and not be taken advantage of. And that's what I want people to get out of this. And that's what I want people to see. And that's what I hope the silver lining on this is. That more people are going to see this, and they're going to realize how bullshit it is. They're going to realize how one-dimensional it is, how transparent, how weak, how fake it is. That's the only good thing to come out of this.